Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're stripping away the financial noise to reveal the 5 minimalist rules for true, lasting wealth. You know, if you're tired of all that overly complicated advice out there and just want the clear signal through the static, well, you're in the exact right place. Let's get straight into it.
Picture 2 people. Same age, same city, same exact starting salary. But their realities, wildly different. On one hand, you've got a 45-year-old with 300 grand in savings, 0 debt, just living a completely peaceful life. On the other hand, someone pulling in that exact same income, but they are incredibly stressed, stuck living paycheck to paycheck. It's a crazy contrast, right? And the kicker here, the part that should really make you stop and think, is that this difference isn't about luck. It wasn't some secret crypto boom or a massive inheritance from a rich uncle. It's literally just about following rules. Financial success isn't an accident. So we're going to break down these straightforward minimalist money rules that actually guarantee stability.
All right, rule 1, mind the gap.
This addresses the absolute foundation of wealth building. Because without this, I promise you, every other strategy is going to completely collapse. So ask yourself, why do lottery winners and pro athletes go broke so often? There's a ton of well-documented research on this sudden wealth phenomenon. Across all the studies, we consistently see people experiencing total financial collapse within just a few short years of hitting a massive windfall. It's fascinating, really, because the money didn't just magically vanish into thin air. It's because their behavior never changed. Sudden wealth almost always leads to a rapid crash when your spending habits expand to match and then inevitably exceed your brand new reality.
So the crucial point here is understanding what we call the gap. That's the space between what you earn and what you spend. And let me be extremely clear about this. This is literally the only metric that actually builds wealth. Honestly, it doesn't matter how high your income goes. You absolutely must ruthlessly protect this gap, spending less than you earn. Period. No exceptions. If you violate this rule, everything else we're going to talk about today simply falls apart. It is the core engine of your entire financial life.
You really got to watch out for those classic lifestyle inflation traps too. You know the ones: raises, bonuses, windfalls. If you let your lifestyle creep upward with every single raise or bonus you get, well, it stops being a willpower problem and becomes a design problem. Your money is basically out the door before it even has a chance to work for you. The people who actually achieve real stability, they protect that gap like it's a paycheck in itself, because realistically, it is.
Moving right along to rule 2, dollars at work.
This principle takes us from just hoarding cash to actually generating some real, sustainable momentum. Think about this tiny fraction, 0.01%. Most people never really stop to think about this, but keeping your money in a standard traditional savings account earning that tiny fraction, it means your dollars are slowly, invisibly dying. Inflation is very, very real. If you've got 10 grand sitting idle, earning basically zero, it might not feel like you're actively losing money, but quietly, year after year, your purchasing power is just evaporating.
Instead, the minimalist approach dictates that every single dollar you save needs a job. Your emergency fund shouldn't just sit there dying. It needs to be put in a high-yield savings account, earning something much closer to 4 to 5%. It's perfectly safe, it's fully accessible, but it's actually out there working for you while it waits for an emergency to happen.
And for long-term savings, we really don't need complex derivatives or 12 different trading accounts. As Warren Buffett, arguably one of the greatest investors of all time, points out, a simple S&P 500 index fund is often the absolute best path for most people. It's low cost, historically it's incredibly strong over long windows, and it just lets the magic of compounding do all the heavy lifting while you're asleep. Don't overcomplicate it, just put those dollars to work.
All right, that brings us to rule 3, the financial moat.
Now we need to talk about exactly how to protect everything you're building from life's inevitable curveballs. Most people call it an emergency fund, but I absolutely love redefining it as a financial moat. We're talking 3 to 6 months of untouched, liquid living expenses. It is perhaps the single most underrated wealth-building tool that exists. And not because it massively grows your money, but because it aggressively protects your progress from being completely wiped out. When you have this moat in place, you're suddenly able to negotiate life from a position of real strength rather than pure panic.
Because let's face it, right? The real reason smart, hardworking people fall into financial chaos usually isn't some accidental Rolex purchase. No, it's a broken down car, a surprise medical bill, a job that suddenly disappears overnight. This moat acts as a heavy shield against these exact everyday scenarios. It prevents you from having to panic sell your investments or, even worse, falling into a 24% interest credit card spiral when things go completely sideways. You got to build that moat first, before anything else.
Next up is rule 4. Destroy your debt.
This rule shifts our focus to the defensive game, eliminating those massive obligations that actively drag down your future. Listen to this. Debt is a claim on your future time. It is not just some neutral number sitting on a banking app. Every single dollar you owe, plus interest, is a dollar your future self has to physically go to work and earn before they get to keep anything. You're quite literally hiring out your future self to pay for decisions your past self made. And that is exactly why getting rid of debt is something you have to take personally. You really have to attack it.
Now, to be completely fair, not all debt is evil. It's vital to distinguish between calculated leverage, like a mortgage on an appreciating home or manageable student loans that actually boost your career, and absolute financial quicksand. I'm talking about credit cards, auto loans on a vehicle that depreciates by 10 to 20% the exact second you drive it off the lot, those tricky buy now, pay later traps. This consumer debt is what you must attack aggressively, not just casually making the minimum payments, but treating it like a true hair-on-fire emergency that is actively coming for you.
But here's the beautiful reward for doing all that hard work. Once that bad debt is finally gone, every single dollar you used to send to a creditor becomes a dollar you get to keep for yourself. By destroying this high-interest debt, you're basically giving yourself an immediate, permanent financial boost. Think about it. It's an instant, guaranteed raise without needing a single job interview or promotion. It completely transforms your monthly cash flow.
Finally, we arrive at Rule 5, defining your enough.
This might just be the most profound yet often completely ignored rule of true financial stability. Enough is a mindset. It ties loosely to the Japanese concept of ikigai, or your reason for being. See, genuinely financially stable people don't just accumulate endlessly. They actually define their ultimate finish line. And then, and this is the important part, they stop letting the world move the target. Without consciously defining what enough means for you, you'll just fall victim to the constant, endless societal pressure for a bigger house, a newer car, or a fancier title. If that target keeps moving every single year, the numbers in your bank account, they'll never actually bring you peace.
So when we synthesize all of this together, what do we actually get? Well, financial stability isn't some secret, complex algorithm. It really just comes down to 3 steps. Consistently do the unsexy things, let your discipline meet with time, and stop moving the target. That's it. It's just simple, boring rules applied over a very long period. That is the entire secret.
Looking back at the 2 earners who started with today, remember them? The difference between the 45-year-old with 300 grand in the bank and the ones stressed out of their mind was entirely based on applying these exact minimalist rules. The successful earner followed the rules consistently, quietly, and completely without drama. The stressed earner? They just kept waiting for a get-rich-quick miracle, the perfect investment, or the right timing, things that never actually came.
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a really vital thought to chew on. What does enough look like for your future self? If you decide to start taking control today, even with just one small step, how will you define your finish line? Think about that gap. Put your dollars to work. Build your moat. Destroy that quicksand debt and figure out your enough. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.